Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome to the channel. It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video. I've recently been inspired to make some, especially on the topic that we have today, travel hacking. So what is travel hacking? Travel hacking is where you take a credit card, you pay for a lot of your purchases that you make every day instead of using your debit card, and you get points in exchange for that. So let's say if you were going to make home renovations you've been saving up for, you have $5,000. A lot of these credit cards, if you spend $5,000 within a short period of time, that unlocks 100,000 points. Another example of this would be if you're a college student and you need to buy a laptop or some books, or you're paying part of your tuition, pay that with your credit card if you know you're going to get financial aid, and once that financial aid money hits, pay off the entire balance, and again, you'll unlock points. So ever since I learned about this, I ditched my debit card and I start using my credit card primarily. 3 reasons why I do that. 1, you have fraud protection. A lot of the debit cards say that they have this so-called fraud protection, but again, it's your money. If you don't have a large savings, somebody gets your card at the bar and they go into town and spend $3,000, you're at the mercy of your bank trying to get your money back. But if you're using, let's say, a Chase or an Amex card and someone steals your money, you're stealing from the bank, you're not stealing from me. And of course, the bank is a lot more eager to investigate why that money is not there and so on and so forth. So they say, Mr. Moses, don't worry about it, we'll put that money back on your card and do the investigation. It's a lot faster than if you did it with a debit card. The final reason why I use my debit card is because with a debit card, you can't build credit. When you have credit cards, every time you do well on your credit card, they report that to the 3 credit bureaus. So if you've been following me on any of my social media accounts, you'll notice that I've been taking these big trips here and there and booking lavish hotels that cost significantly large amounts of money, but I disclaimed that I only pay $85 for them. And a lot of people were like, how do you do that? Well, travel hacking. So again, when you get this card, you hit what's called the minimum spend. Now don't get confused, this is where a lot of people screw this up at. If the bank says you need to spend $3,000 in, let's say, 4 months, what most people think they can do is go to Best Buy and go buy a 75-inch TV that they don't need. Don't do this. What you should instead do is, if you're making a purchase already that you planned on doing, if you have somebody that's going to make a big purchase and you have them front you the cash for it, or you put all your daily expenses on your card, with the exception for rent and your car note, those are kind of hard to do sometimes, but everything else, gas, groceries, all that on a card, and after a while you hit the $3,000 or whatever the minimum spend is. Just by doing this, by spending money that you already spend on a normal basis, you unlock, with most cards with $100,000, that equates to $1,000 in cash. One major thing to look out for is retail credit cards. Try to stay away from retail credit cards because they only force you to buy stuff that you probably don't need. Like if you get a Saks Fifth card, you end up with a Tom Ford wallet that you don't need, and then after you spend $1,000, you get 15% off to go use that credit card to buy more things you don't need, and you can kind of see this cyclical pattern here. Now, to maximize your points, the travel hack method is to not exchange your points for cash value. At the normal rate, 1 point is worth 1 cent. So again, when we talked about 100,000 points, that's $1,000. But if you do the right research, and with certain credit cards like the ones I mentioned below, and you can see the link in the bottom in the description, like your Chase Sapphire Rewards card or your American Express Platinum card, you can transfer these over to airliners, hotel partners, and etc. And so what that allows you to do is, let's say, I believe there's a promotion for Hawaii. Instead of your points being 1,000, if you transfer 1,000 points over to Hawaii, they'll make it 1,200. And then it gets even crazier, where I've heard of people taking first class flights to Japan on New Year's for like $8,000. So now that $1,000 that you made that didn't cost anything to do it becomes $8,000 now, and now you can kind of see how the game unfolds. In addition to all the traveling perks with a credit card, a lot of people don't realize that time when you go get a rental car where it says it's $300, and when you go to the counter to check out, it balloons to $600-700 because of your collision damage waiver. If you book these things with a credit card, most credit cards, and you have to look into it on your own, have this coverage. For a cell phone at T-Mobile or Verizon, you're paying an extra $15 a month in case you drop your phone. There are a lot of credit cards that will give you a check if your phone becomes broke, if it gets stolen, or anything. They'll just cut you a check for $800. There's trip protection in case you got sick, and we all know too well about that trip to Venezuela that we want to go to, but now we came up with COVID. And so all these other perks come with just using your credit card. What I say for this to work, and I will say again, the only way for this to work is if you pay your balances off in full. You see, if you go rack up $3,000 and you have 25% interest and you let it sit on there, every day your $1,000 that you made for that minimum spend is slowly getting eroded away. So it's in your best interest to pay this off in its entirety. What I do is I set up auto pay, and I always try and make sure that if I spend $1,000, there's already like $1,000 sitting in the savings account. I wait 30 days and I just slide that money over in auto pay. Now, once you get your hands on some of the more premium cards, like the American Express Platinum card, that allows you to do certain things like visit the lounges. And so a lot of people are scared about the high annual fee, which for the American Express Platinum card right now is $695, which seems like a lot. But what you have to realize is, if you use this card, that unlocks your ability to go to the lounge. Now, think in your head how much 2 drinks, Jack Daniels and Coke, let's say you have just a general meal at the airport. If you travel 3 times and you and your partner go multiple times in the airport, that $695 pays for itself. Also, there's things that they cover, Tsa Pre-Check, which allows you to just float through the line without having to take off your shoes and your belt. They have Clear, which I finally experienced. I've had this on my card forever. I finally took my time to go sign up for this benefit. And what happened was they took my ID and they took my boarding pass and they skipped me past every single person in the line at the security thing. And I just felt like royalty. So that's another perk. Those are valued at like $300, something like that. There's also global entry to help you get through customs if you travel overseas a lot. Another perk is every 6 months you get $50 Saks Fifth credit. So that's $100 for the year. You get Uber Eats $15 credit, whether you use it for food or whether you use it for rideshare. So you see that $695 is slowly eroded away, and you can't forget, just for hitting that minimum spend, you've already locked $1,000. So if you didn't take advantage of any of the other perks that I talk about, you're still up $400. But it gets even crazier when you look at $200 hotel credits, $200 if you decide to declare Delta as your airline of choice. You get $200 worth of credits to pay for bags, drinks, and any kind of incidentals on a plane. So I think the last time I checked, just signing up for the Amex card, there's like $3,000 worth of benefit that you get right away as soon as you start receiving the benefits on the card. Now, if you're just starting out, the American Express card can kind of seem daunting. So there's another card called the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and its annual fee is only $95. And so with this card, it comes with a lot of the perks that I talked about before, but some of the prestige, like the hotel credits and the lounges and the things like that, aren't included with this card. But again, one of the big benefits back when I got the card was that Chase was giving out 100,000 points, which again is 1,000, and I found partner hotels and airliners and ended up getting $8,000, and I only had to spend $900 to obtain that out of my own money. And so therefore I broke even to about $7,200 in points just for spending money that I'm already going to spend on a day-to-day basis by using my Chase card. I know a lot of you out there, when I talk about credit cards, you guys are like, whoa, credit cards. Mom and dad told me they were bad. I've messed up with credit cards before, and so on and so forth. And you guys are absolutely right. But what I failed to understand is how to leverage the power of my credit cards by paying off my balances in full. The only way that this works is if you use your card for a purchase that you were already going to make in the first place. This is not, I sign up for a credit card, I go ham at Macy's, I go ham at Best Buy and buy a bunch of stuff that I don't need. And that's one of the reasons why I say stay away from the retail credit cards. The travel cards are the ones that you want, the ones that give out points and allow you to transfer those points out and get better deals so you can book travel and see the world for cheap or free. Some of you are probably like, this sounds too good to be true. I mean, if everybody was doing this, how would the bank make money if they're just giving free money away, $1,000 to everybody? Well, there's two ways. Like I stated before, for everybody who's doing this, what I'm telling you right now, there's somebody who's leaving balances on their credit cards. And so a lot of people will say, well, that's kind of an evil thing to do. That's predatory lending. Okay, let's say every single person did the strategy that I'm talking about today. Did you know that when you use a Chase card, or let's say for example Amex, every time you use your card at a merchant like Walmart, Amex charges Walmart 4%. And so they get a percentage and they give you another part of that percentage, and that's in points. And so that's why when you go to a gas station, you'll see that when you use cash, they're willing to give you a better value because they still save money since they're not swiping your card. So I hope if this video helped you out, you'll like and subscribe. I like to teach stuff about this because I like come-ups, and I like teaching other people about come-ups that they can be on. And once I found out about this, I said, man, this is amazing. I want to tell all my friends. If you sign up for one of the cards, I get a referral bonus, as well as I have fun while I teach you guys about this type of stuff. So if you can help me out, if this helped you out, feel free to use my link below, and make sure to like and subscribe. Till next time.